the source.
WOCA.
Ocala's information station, 1370 WOCA.
Ocala.
All right, 5 minutes after 9 o'clock, Jim George is in the studio. Professor Gadget. And has brought some gadgets today. The phone lines are open. If you have a question for Jim during the course of this segment, you are invited and, in fact, encouraged to call in. The number is 622-9622. Jim is the owner of American Cable Services, but it's a show that started out just talking about what they offer over at American Cable Services and become the go-to place if you have questions about your gadgets. And Joe Martone always has questions about his gadgets, so he might be coming in.
The other way. I like these gadgets.
Where's your music? Your music is gone. It was too short.
Cool.
We need to get the Professor Gadget song.
Yes.
Although there'll probably be some copyright issues with that, I guess. Right. How you doing, Jim?
I'm doing good, thank you.
The phone number right now is 622-9622. If you want to call Jim, feel free to do so. Interrupt us. Doesn't matter. You brought us some toys. You brought me a cool toy. Let me get it out of my pocket.
Well, you had mentioned once before that gentleman from Verizon was talking to you about the chargers, and I said, well, I get those at the trade show, so you'll see there's a name on it, and I think it says Cable Labs.
Cable Labs. It does say that.
Cable
yeah.
Labs is where the 10 most largest cable companies in America pooled their money together, and then you joined Cable Labs, and when you joined Cable Labs, then they would do all the engineering. So the high-speed internet we have, the DOCSIS one,
Right.
all that came out of Cable Labs. Cable Labs invented all that.
So this will charge my phone.
Yes, you plug it into your computer or any USB port. Like, for instance, you see that USB port
Right,
there? You
right.
plug that into the wall.
Okay.
That will charge it. Then you just carry it in your pocket.
That plugs into the wall?
Yeah.
Oh, really? I didn't know you could do that.
And then you plug that in, yeah.
All right, now, how do you charge this?
You see the USB port on it?
Oh, is this charged right now?
No,
No.
I don't think so. Open it up.
How do you know? How would you know?
Well, you can put it on your cell phone and see if it says charge.
So my Kindle has the same wire as my cell phone. So I could charge my Kindle with this too?
Yeah, let's open it up. You don't need that plastic bag. That's just something.
Okay, all right. I was just trying to keep it together because I have a tendency to lose stuff. All right. All right, so now how do I know?
That's cool.
Right? It has a USB port on it. See
Right.
that?
So now I hook up to my phone? All right, let's
Well,
see.
you have to get a USB port. If you don't have one, I'll bring you one of those too. Oh, you got it? There you go.
Yeah, you gave it to me.
Yeah,
Hold on.
plug that in.
Hold on. Make sure I put it in the right way. All right, there it is. So now it's in.
And then that goes to your phone. And
All right.
if your phone has that type of in on it.
It does. It does.
Perfect.
Let's see. Now, what if it didn't have this? I just get a different wire?
You get an adapter.
Okay,
Yeah.
let's see. Let's see. I push it in. I
Yeah,
guess
wherever you
this way.
Yep. Chances are, since it's brand new in the bag, it's not charged.
Oh yeah, no, it's doing something. It's buzzing. What is it doing?
Does it say charging?
It doesn't say that,
Well, it's just not charged enough. That's all.
but it did buzz when I put it in there.
All right. Well,
That means it's doing something.
You think so? But it usually has an arrow, right? That shows electricity going in.
yeah, we'll charge it today before we leave. We'll get
Okay,
it.
I
We'll
see. Okay.
All right.
So that's cool. How much does this cost?
You can buy them in the store for like $7.
Really?
Yeah.
And why is it able to do it quicker than simply plugging it in?
Well, because when you plug it in, that the power supply does something called trickle charge. Gives a little bit of voltage, a little bit of like a trickle. So
Okay.
it takes 2 hours to charge it.
Okay.
This thing is a blast charge. In other words, there's a battery in there, and when you're charging that battery up,
Okay, so I have to charge the battery up. And how long will that last?
that will once it will charge your battery in about 5 minutes or less, maybe 2.
But I mean, if I had that thing totally charged up,
Oh, you mean?
and I took it
probably
with
a
me
month.
to Disney World. Oh, a month?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So, okay.
And look, she's figured that out already. She's plugging it in.
There it is. Now it's not charging. Well, that was.
and it's charging.
Does that light go out when it's done, or does that
Yes.
stay on? Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But it takes about maybe an hour at the max to charge that.
So we all should have that because that'll give us the security in case our phones go dead.
Right. You're in the middle of an important call. Maybe you're talking to one of your people that call in early, on your cell phone.
Right.
And your battery's going dead. You just plug that in.
All right. Right. Well,
You
thank
keep it in
you.
your
That was
pocket.
nice.
Yeah, you're welcome. I got a little stuff here.
What other kind of gadgets did you bring in?
A little screwdriver kit that, here, pass it over to him so he can see it, so he can explain.
Now I saw the one you gave Doug.
Yeah,
so,
that's the same one, same type.
so it doesn't look like a screwdriver at all.
Right.
But it's got a little plastic door on it. You open up the door.
Yeah.
And it's got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 types of screwdriver heads. 3 Phillips and 3 whatever regular.
Flathead, regular, yeah.
And then you push them into the end, and
right.
voila, you have a
A screwdriver. You keep that in your glove
Nice.
box. You keep it somewhere where you. And
never know when you're going to need a screwdriver. And what is this? Oh, what is this?
a little sewing kit.
A sewing kit.
Yeah. Doesn't have to be high tech to be useful.
Yeah.
I got a button missing on my
See?
shirt.
There you go.
I could use that. Okay.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that is not high tech.
little
That is-
mints.
that is low tech. What is this?
They're mints from the trade show.
Mints?
Mints.
Oh.
You can leave them around. People come in and need a mint. You say, okay, here, have a mint.
Where are you from? You don't say the N. You say mitt.
Mint.
Mint.
Yes, like a breath mint.
Mint. There's an N in the word.
Mint.
Yeah, mint. That's the N. It's not mint, M-I-T, it's mint.
Mint.
You don't say the N. Do you hear an N?
I hear the N.
Where did you grow
I'm
up?
N deficient? Oh, my goodness.
I heard it there. Where did you grow up? I never asked you
West
this.
Palm Beach.
Well, they say N's in West Palm Beach.
Exactly.
Mint. Okay. Well, that's good. What kind of mint? Okay. What's this?
It's a breath mint.
Oh, a Jesus cross.
Yes.
Made out of
Rusty nails. Only they haven't rusted yet.
Do they look? Are these horseshoe nails?
They are.
This came from the trade show.
No, a lady in our church makes them, and I just brought to
Oh,
her.
very nice.
Isn't that
It's
nice?
Very clever the way
Yeah.
she did
Very
it.
nice.
Very
Yeah.
clever.
And the nails would represent the nails that Christ was hung.
Exactly.
Are you a religious man?
Yes.
No, I didn't know that.
I don't use the word religious.
I know what you mean. You
Yeah.
you believe, and that's
Yeah.
that's all you really need. Okay, that's the way I am too.
Yeah.
I can't quote the Bible very well. I mean, I kind of know what the lessons are. Like, don't make fun of people's ends.
Yeah, that's one.
Now, this I know what this is. This is a pen holder with a clock on it,
Yep.
and then you swivel out the triangular rounded edged pieces, and you can store little
Paper
things.
clips, pins, whatever you want. Like by pins, I mean like bulletin board pins,
Right.
things like
Yeah,
that.
those things are pesky. They fly all over the place.
You know what else you could put in there?
You lose
mitts.
Mints, yes.
Mint.
No, mints.
Mints.
Mints. Not mints. All right, Jim, it was so nice. By the way, Brenda, your wife, is a really pretty lady.
Oh,
How did you ever
inside
pull
and
that
out.
off? I wanted to ask you this.
Yeah, I robbed the cradle.
How did you pull that off? She's really pretty and very nice. It was so nice of you guys to stop by. We were at the first Friday Art Walk, and you came by and you said
Yeah.
hi.
And we went, by the way.
How
to-
was the restaurant? Did you like
It
the
was
restaurant?
very good. We ordered a Mediterranean type salad. We just wanted something light because we'd already had
A Mediterranean type salad. What's
where-
in it? What's in it?
The olives and the feta and romaine lettuce.
That sounds
and,
good.
things like that.
Yeah?
Tomatoes.
We have a really good restaurant in Ocala right at the end of that Broadway.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everybody's saying good things about it. So.
Feta.
Yeah.
F-E-T-A.
And what is this? This is a flashlight?
Yeah, you wind it up.
Okay.
And then you turn the on switch, and it will last for a while. But apparently, I've had it too long because
I'm winding
it's not working.
I'm winding it up
And
now.
I have about 50 of those. So, I'll
So
bring-
what I'm actually doing is charging the battery?
It's a static electricity,
Oh.
Switch on the
and then
side.
there's a little switch. And if it's charged enough, it'll do it. So, but since it's not lighting, it's probably went kaputzin.
Uh-huh, kaputsin.
Capuchin. Now that's not a Palm Beach term. That's- well, we had a radio that you cranked up to charge the battery.
Yes, I have one of those too.
Do you? And we were giving them away. We had a bunch of these on the radio show years ago.
Yeah.
And we gave them away before hurricane season.
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
We had one that we purchased actually, but we used it for years and years. Took it to the beach, you just wind it up, and And it had
Yeah.
a solar panel, so you didn't have to wind it in the broad sunlight.
Why aren't there more of these wind-up things? I mean, batteries can
Lazy
be expensive. Yeah, but batteries can be expensive.
They are expensive.
Yeah.
And those little dynamos, they call them, where you actually have a plus and a minus magnet, a bar magnet, and it's going around a coil. So it's going plus,
Right.
So it charges that coil, and it charges a capacitor, and the capacitor holds the current.
Did you, when you were little, ever have a crystal radio that you had to clip onto the phone thing?
Clip onto the phone?
You know, when you on the dial on the phone,
Yeah.
the metal thing that stopped your finger, that's what I would clip on the crystal radio to that, and I could hear radio stations.
Oh, you were using that as an antenna because it was attached to the frame of the phone. Yeah,
I never knew how it worked, but
I just used a razor blade as the
really?
antenna.
oh, really?
Yeah,
Wow.
double-sided razor blade. Just put it into the top of the eraser on a pencil.
Yeah.
Stick the pencil in something, I don't know, bar of soap, foam rubber, anything, and then you run the wire to it, and that's your antenna.
Wow, that's a clever idea.
Yeah. All right,
Very
so
clever.
you were talking about some things you wanted to ask me. I was in doing something, coming in the office. I heard you say, "Well, ask Jim when he comes in."
Yeah, it was about Boone, though. It wasn't about electronics.
Okay.
Can we ask about Boone?
Yeah.
Well, we had this segment this morning about ski lodges.
Yes.
And the only one I had ever been to was in Boone. Tom Schmitz from Voice of Ocala called in. He was listening. He also is familiar with the Boone area. Apparently, we're all familiar with Boone, except for Robin.
Yeah.
You got to get to Boone.
I know.
There you go.
And so, have you gone skiing up there?
We did in 1994.
Okay.
But all the time that I was going back and forth for work, it was just work. By the time I got there, I worked, and when I was done working, I
Right,
drove back
right.
home. So no.
So you don't have any thoughts on which is the best one? The only one I went to was, according to Tom, is the smallest hill. Is the Appalachian Ski Resort. But let me tell you something, Jim. I don't care about the skiing.
Oh, I know.
I like the lodge.
Oh boy.
The lodge
Thank
has
God for lodges.
a fireplace,
Yeah.
food,
Yeah.
and females.
Exactly.
3 Fs.
Not quite in that order.
Fireplace. Food. No, not in that order. And the you know how we like females with very little clothing on? Well, in this place, it is very nice to see them with all this warm clothing
yeah.
on. I don't know why.
Yeah.
What is it about that
It's
that's
warm
attractive?
and comfortable. Yeah.
That's right.
Comfortable.
Yeah.
They come in with their furry collars.
Yep.
This is not a high-tech show at all today.
Fur boots.
That's right. Although they do have battery-operated socks that go into those fur boots, so
okay.
there's your high-tech connection right there.
High-tech socks.
Yeah.
Good.
So you never did you ever actually go there ever?
Yeah, I went to
you
Sugar,
did?
Sugar Mountain is in the Boone,
Okay.
and Elk.
They have a ski
something.
lodge there?
Yeah, they have a ski lodge.
Did you go into the lodge?
We did.
Enjoy the fireplace? Mm-hmm. Where was Brenda at that time?
She was with me.
Oh,
yeah.
okay.
And the kids.
So all you could do was
Oh,
look.
nice.
All you could do was look.
Yeah.
Yeah, but looking is nice.
That's all I do too.
Yeah.
I make it seem like I'm dumb, but
Isn't that where your cable system was? You put
It was.
up
It's
there?
in Boone. Right.
Yeah. So
Right, we sold that
You did
last
a
year.
whole
is
cable
that,
system.
do you think that's the closest place to Ocala where one could go skiing?
I think
Is
maybe
Boone-
it might be places like in Franklin, Georgia, and other places that are a little closer, hilly and everything.
Oh,
but,
really?
But Boone's got snow. I can tell you that.
See, Joe would know about
When
that.
when it snows and
He's looking at
when it snows in Boone, it snows. That's all I can
Yeah,
tell
it's
you.
beautiful up there.
this is
Here we
this
go.
is a low-tech conversation
Trouble
today.
here today.
Let me
I
put
just
Joe's
come for
mic
the
on.
break, and then I'll talk to you.
Oh, okay.
Did you go skiing in Boone? In North
No, last
Carolina?
time I skiing was up in Connecticut.
In Connecticut? Really? Did you did you go to the ski lodge?
No, I just went on the slopes, and then we left.
Oh, really? You didn't go?
12 hours worth of
There's
skiing.
a
That was
fireplace
it.
in there.
What were we talking about?
Ski lodges.
Oh, ski lodges, yes.
Fireplace and snow bunnies.
I've been in Gatlinburg many times.
Oh, we had one in
I
Gatlinburg
heard
this
that,
morning.
yes.
Yeah.
yes. I went ice skating up at the top of the mountain.
Doesn't
in
it seem
Gatlinburg.
fun? I mean, right
Wow.
now we're in Florida, but it's cold.
Yeah.
It's dreary out there, and it's raining out there.
Is it raining?
Yes, it is.
It was raining when I came in, sprinkling.
It was snowing in Jacksonville yesterday.
Yeah.
Did you hear that?
Yep, I did.
Joe's looking at me. He didn't hear it.
It was.
I didn't get home till 9 o'clock last night, so.
Yeah, you had your.
Oh, that's
MC
right. You were
last night.
singing and playing.
Yeah.
How'd that
you were
go?
Master of
Very well,
ceremonies.
very well. I'm going to get the caterer's name. That is for sure.
Good? Good
Oh,
caterer?
it was good. Oh,
What banquet was that?
excuse me?
Which banquet was that?
The banquet was for the Ocala business leaders.
Good.
The installation banquet, and
Yeah.
they had the food was delicious. It was chicken, but not. It was boneless chicken, breaded and fried, but not did like a deep fat fry kind of fry, and it was good. And then of course they had sliced ham, like I said, of course. Yes.
We have hijacked your show today, totally, Jim. I can connect it to what Joe was saying, though. There was a report on the high-tech gadgets at the consumer thing in Las Vegas, and they have smart ovens,
Yes.
smartphone connectivity to those ovens. What is the need for that? Why do we need that?
There is no need for it. It's just some people have some time on their hands, and they said, I think I'll do this.
Now, getting back to those gadgets like you do, Jim, I was at the meeting on Wednesday morning, and a gentleman was tickled pink. He had his phone out, and he was able to change his temperature in his home
Yes.
Really?
from his phone.
Why? Who was
and turn
home?
his lights on. And
Talk to your thermostat, yeah.
Wow.
Was his dog at home or something? Who was home?
Oh, it was home. Well, the dog was home. He was
Oh,
keeping
okay.
him warm, I guess. Well, he turned his thermostat so it wouldn't be cold when he got home, or he lowered it because he was gone.
Yeah, you can turn the water heater on and off, lights on and off, raise and lower the temperature, all from your cell phone.
Yeah.
All
Like,
remotely.
we have, as everyone knows, we have security here, and I can monitor the security here from anywhere.
Yeah. And it was a thing also about the dog. You were telling me about the dog tag.
Oh, the dog tag.
Well, there's something
There was
that you could track your dog with.
Oh, that's a different one. Different one. The one I was talking about was you get your iPhone. You have two iPhones. Who could afford two iPhones? One person. But this little gadget, this little box, Jim, and they put the iPhone has a.
Cradle.
Sorry, the box has a slot. The iPhone that slides in it.
Right.
You turn it on. You go to work or whatever. Then you dial yourself, I guess, to that number, and you appear like Skype, and you say, "Here, Ruff," and the dog comes over there and looks, and there you are waving at the dog in his
Wow.
little screen. And have you been a good boy? And the dog's sitting there. All of a sudden, you press a button, and a little door at the bottom flips open. A little treat comes out for the dog. Now don't chew the furniture.
I like
You're a
that.
big good boy. Yeah. Ding, and it comes out again. Okay, go back, lay down. The dog goes lay down.
I got to get one
My
of
dog
those.
will be staring at that phone all day long.
But yeah, where the hell did he go? Where'd he go? How did he get so small?
Dog could be calling you. Send treats.
Yeah, right. That's
But again,
Yeah, right.
there was invented by a 15-year-old.
Is that right?
I think she's about 15 years old, and she had what is that fundraising, Jim? They have Kickstart.
GoFundMe.
Kickstarter.
Kickstart.
GoFundMe.
And she's saying, I need the money. She has a technology. She has a company behind her that believes in what she's doing. I guess it's like a cheap version of Shark Tank.
Yeah.
Because they're right behind them immediately.
Yeah.
Wow.
And just like Jim, everybody's getting behind him.
Of course.
Is that
He's
right, Jim?
Professor Gadget.
Yeah.
Go, Jim.
Yeah. So,
Very interesting.
more people are going to come to you for how to fix this, how to work this, that kind of stuff.
How to explain it.
Yeah.
There are a lot more cell phone repeater companies coming online. I got 2 emails just this week alone from companies that make cell phone repeaters for your home.
Repeaters.
And so what you do is you put an antenna on your window, and that receives the Verizon or the
When you say an antenna, you mean a stick-on?
just
Like a little line.
a little flat panel antenna, maybe 6-inch by 6-inch by ½ inch.
Okay.
You stick it on,
Yeah.
and it's wireless. It's got a battery in it. And then it talks to the amplifier that has another antenna that transmits.
Oh, wow.
So it receives the Verizon or the T-Mobile or AT&T signal, sends it to the little device as big as that little, maybe 6-inch by 6-inch by
Thank you.
4-inch.
Describe it. They can't see it on radio.
Yeah, about 6-inch by 6-inch by 4-inch, kind of a book thing. And then it amplifies the signal. So now if you had no cell phone in your home, now you have cell phone service.
I know someone like that in North Carolina. In order for her to use her cell phone, she has to step out the front door, walk down the block.
Right.
About half
my.
a block down to use.
Oh,
now she
no.
has, because of that, she has a wired phone in her home because it will not work. And this is a major carrier. But of course, we're talking again, the mountains of North Carolina.
Right.
And to put towers up everywhere, it is almost. Well, I would say it's impossible. So there are dead spots, especially, Jim, as you know, if you go up to the Blue Ridge Mountains and the Blue Ridge Parkway.
Good luck.
You don't have a signal.
Oh, really?
It's populated with people that are going down, when we used to ride our bike up there, and you flip your phone open and it says nothing. Now, the Rangers have the satellite phones?
Satellite phone, yes.
And those they get old, goes to satellite.
There's a phone call, and let's take that call. Good morning. You're on the air with
call.
Jim George.
Yeah, it's a good, very interesting conversation here. very nice listening. I'd like to ask a question about when you go to baseball stadiums now or football stadiums, they got these gigantic screens to show play-by-play and everything else. How is that? How do they do that? Is that like the old projection TV system, except at a larger scale?
Well, you've seen the billboards that are lit up. They're LEDs, light-emitting diodes, and there's millions of them. And depending upon the amount of voltage an LED receives, that's what color emits. So that's just a large TV screen, just a real large TV screen made up of LEDs.
Oh my gosh! Is there any limit to the size of those things?
No. You can get. They actually make 60-feet ones.
Wow! That's all. Is that like all in high definition? I mean, it looks good when you're sitting in the bleachers or in the audience and you look up. It looks clear. Would it be if you got real close to it? Would it be like a lot of dots or something, kind of foggy?
Exactly. You'd see the little LEDs.
Light emitting diodes.
Oh.
Yep.
Yeah. Are those? Do they ever have like problems with like part of that would go out, so you lose some of the picture, or is that all one big unit?
No, they're 1 foot by 1 foot, and some of them are 2 foot by 2 foot panels, and it might be 1 million LEDs, or actually maybe 10,000 LEDs per panel.
That's
and
all.
So if you lose one section, you'll see a little square go out. They just unplug it and put a new square in. Done.
I'll be darned. Well, it's certainly it's wonderful, and it almost makes you feel like, what the heck am I sitting here for? I can be at home watching on a TV, because everybody seems to be watching the screen and not the actual play.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's what was happening. We went to a David Copperfield concert show, whatever.
Yeah.
And everybody was looking at the screen and not him.
Right.
Because
Yeah.
it's hard to see. It's easy to do a magic trick and fool people when he's
Right.
this big, tiny.
Yeah. Right.
So there was a story related to what you normally talk about. In a draft provided to CNN, FCC Chairman Tom Wheeler said he thinks broadband should provide minimum speeds of 25 megabits per second.
Right.
How fast is it in South Korea? Weren't you telling me South Korea is the fastest in the world?
It probably is. Asia has a speed, time and time again, but you really don't need all that speed with the compression ratios we're getting now. In other words, if you have a fiber to the home system and you want to send CNN, you need 40 megabits per second to receive that, uncompressed. In other words, in its raw state.
Okay, and
All
what
right.
was this asking for, 25?
Right. So but when I compress it, it goes down to 1.5 meg.
Oh, okay.
So
okay.
think about it. If you had 2 meg in your house, you could watch CNN streaming 24/7, or any channel for that matter. So the compression has taken over the need for bandwidth. But I think what Wheeler is saying is, between Netflix and all the other sources in a home, what if you were in your room watching one at 1.5 meg and somebody else was in another room? In other words, you need more bandwidth. Plus, someone's going to be downloading a document.
Right,
Someone's going to be
right.
sending a document. So in an average home that doesn't have a bachelor in it, but has a family,
Right.
25 meg. Now, we deliver 10 meg in Ocala Palms, and we have some customers that actually have 20 meg. 25 meg would be a little strain. We could do it, but the maximum we could deliver would be 30.
So,
Wow.
so when I have like an evening, I'm trying to upload something and it's taking forever, and then the next night I do something very similar and it goes very quick. There's nobody else in my house. Why is it faster one day than another?
Well, you're probably getting your service from CenturyLink.
Me, I get it from Cox.
Cox, okay, well, that should not be, because CenturyLink is the best efforts. They will give you what you pay for based on their best efforts to do that. Mm-hmm. And there are a lot of people sharing it. With Cox, that they're using a CMTS and that's a cable modem termination server. And what that does, that guarantees a certain amount of bandwidth to that modem. So if they're having a problem receiving a certain amount of bandwidth, then you're having a certain amount of problems receiving that bandwidth. So it could be where AT&T is their supplier or a level 3, and for some reason that night or that day they were being inundated.
Yeah.
Too many people asking for too much.
So it's
bandwidth.
not just people in my home; it's
No.
people in my community.
Your community.
Okay.
Yeah, you taxed the node, the device that does it.
My goodness,
We're over.
time goes too fast.
Yeah. Well, good.
Did we even take a middle? I don't
No.
No, we didn't. No middle
Joe came
today.
in. What do
know.
you-
Oh, Well, we'll blame him. Jim, what is your phone number?
854-9795.
Thank you for the
Thank
gadgets.
you. You're welcome.
Fun stuff, and I love this conversation. Professor Gadget, Jim George. Call Jim. Call us if you need Jim's number. We'll be glad to give you the information for American cable services. We'll take a little break. We'll be right back.
This is a Fox News alert. I'm Joe Chiro. French police swarming a building north of Paris. Inside are the 2 gunmen accused of this week's terror attack in Paris.
There were 3 helicopters, then a 4th one came along and they circled the perimeter above the hostage-taking area.
A resident in a small village where the 2 have taken a hostage.
Brothers Saeed and Sharif Kouachi are said to be holed up inside a print factory on an industrial estate. It's thought they stole a car earlier and shots were fired as police pursued the men.
Fox Radio's Simon Owen. Meanwhile, multiple hostages are being held at a kosher market in eastern Paris, and there are reports of some wounded. U.S. employers added 252,000 jobs in December.
Slightly more than expected, but the unemployment rate dropped to 5.6%, more than expected, from 5.8% in November.
Fox Business Network's Peter Barnes. It's the lowest unemployment rate since June 2008. Fox News. We report, you decide.
You're running your business, and we at Wix.com know things can get stressful, but creating your website doesn't have to be. With Wix, you can create a professional website all by yourself. It's easy and free. You don't have to be a programmer. Just drag and drop everything into place. It's your